the Leupold VX-R Patrol. Let's check it out. Leupold is well established for making really good optics, and all made right here in the USA, which really is appealing. But I've had a number of 1:4 and 1:6x scopes. There's a lot of advantages to those scopes, especially if you're using it for a defense rifle, or if you're using it for more like dangerous game or 3-gun, things like that. So this has been a very popular setup for a while, but I wanted something a step above. And so I've been looking at the VX-R Patrol for a little while, and I was glad to get this one. This is in the covert gray, so it's a little bit of a different color. It's an Optics Planet exclusive. So we're going to take a look at this scope system with the FireDot reticle, and there's a lot of cool features, but let's just check it out. We're going to check to make sure the gun's unloaded, remove the magazine, pull back the bolt, and look down, and it is empty. The Leupold VX-R Patrol, made specifically for more of your AR-15 type rifle or semi-automatic rifle. Great for what it's known for, the patrol, or for hunting, or 3-gun. I mean, there's a lot of great uses for these little scopes. The 1:4 has always been very popular. You know, being very versatile. I mean, you can get that one, and this is actually a 1.25 by 1.4. And one of the things about that is, because a lot of people are like, well, why isn't it a true 1:4? And guys, as yet, I have not seen a true 1x scope that has variable magnification. Because of the way they're set up, they're just typically just a little bit off. And so Leupold's just come out and said it, pretty much. In fact, it's honestly a 1.5 by 4. This is a little bit of a different color than what you typically see. Most of Leupold scopes are a black matte finish, which this typically comes in the black matte. This is the covert gray, and it's one of the special color editions from Optics Planet. That's the only place you can get these. They also have a dark earth, or more of a brownish color, that's also an option. This is an illuminated reticle scope, but they use fiber optic technology. Right here it's marked with the VX, and then there's a dot, and this is a green dot, so this is green illuminated, which most of your typical VXRs are red illuminated. It's just what they call the FireDot. It's one dot, but guys, I'll tell you, for a very simple scope, but yet has capability, I like the way this is set up. Now this is for your brightness setting. What's really cool about this scope, I really like, is that you just push this button. And as you push the button, it changes the lighted reticle, the intensity of the reticle. So I can move to all 7 settings just by pushing. And then once I get to either my lowest or my highest setting, it'll blink 3 times. Okay, now as you can see, the reticle system, this is duplex crosshairs. And the circle is a 10 mil diameter circle. And then the FireDot is 0.3 mils. And then the hash marks you see going on either side and up and down are 2.5 mil. But for really quick shots, you have that dot in the center of the ring. And so even in low light conditions, you've got that dot to be able to find it quickly. Now here we are at 1.25 magnification, and this is about 15 yards. It's not that far off. But I just want to kind of give you an idea. This is at your 4 power. And you can see the reticles right here in the spot. Now we're going to turn on the FireDot, and it starts out again. There's like 8 settings. Now we're starting to see it. You can actually see it quicker by the naked eye. But there we have the FireDot, and one of the things I really like is that you've got that dot where it draws your eye, but then you have that round circle to be able to bring that in. Here we have it up the street, and that's at 1.2. We're going to go on out to 4 power. But the green dot just holds up well. And again, this is actually a little bit lighter than you're going to be able to see, even with the green in the trees. This is at the 1.2 for 5 power. The glass is just crystal clear. That's one of the things I really love about this optic. One cool feature too is that if this sits for about 2 minutes, it has an automatic shut off. And then once you pick it up and it's jarred, it'll come right back on to the original setting that you have on here. Really, this is set up for daylight setting. I mean, you can see the most intense dot in daylight. Now for me, when I really am shooting in bright sunlight, I just cut the reticle off because it has a really nice reticle already in there, and really for more precision shots, because you can see that little small black point easier than you can even with the lighted reticle. But if you really want to get on target quickly, the light really makes a big difference. Now the lens is multi-coated in a special process by Leupold that really allows for a lot of light transmission, but also it resists glare. And one of the things about this scope that's different than a lot is this is one of the argon filled or krypton gas filled for water and fog proof, and to keep this really crisp in kind of adverse conditions. And that's much more superior than the original nitrogen filled. The eye relief on the VX-R is 4.1 inches at the lowest setting, 1.25. When you crank it up to the 4 power, it goes down to 3.7. So you still have ample eye relief for the scope. The scope is 9.5 inches long and it weighs 11.5 ounces. It's a pretty light system for the capability that you're getting. It is in a 30mm tube, which gives you a little more light transmission than the 1 inch. And the body, and then back here at the objective, it's 1.25 inches in diameter. Of course, you have your focus ring right here to be able to adjust your focus for your eye, which really helps, especially if you have to wear glasses anyway. You can set this up and not need glasses. Your variation magnification dial is right here, and again it goes all the way from 1.25 all the way up to 4 power magnification. It's fairly easy to turn, fairly smooth, but it's not something really large that you can grab. But again, it's just a really smooth scope. Your windage and elevation turrets are very positive, and not only positive clicks and audible, but also it's very well textured. I mean, there's a lot of knurling that goes right here to be able to grab that. In fact, that's one of the things I really like about this scope, is once you grab this turret, you know that you're getting ready to turn it. It has a good solid feel to it. Once you dial it in, you can set this to 0. There's some small little Allen screws in 3 different places, and you set that, you loosen it up, and you can turn it to 0 once you have it sighted in. So if for some reason this gets knocked in the field or you need to adjust it in any way, you can always bring it back to the 0. One of the things about this scope is it retains 0 very well. The 0 is marked right at the top, and you can see I've already got this set where I sighted it in, and there's a little mark that actually corresponds, so you know that you're on the 0. Here I take a small Allen wrench, go in to the little holes where the Allen screws are, and just turn it, loosen that up. Once they've been loosened up, this is free spinning. Once I get this set on 0, just hold it down and tighten up my Allen screws. Now the adjustments for both elevation and windage are 90 MOA, so you have a lot of room to be able to dial this in. It didn't take me long at all to get this dialed in though. Once I bore sighted, I laser bore sighted the rifle, and then when I took it out to the range, it was not that much to get this really right on target. Now one of the issues I've heard from a number of different people that have these scopes is that this can get bumped fairly easily. But it does take a little bit of movement to get it to go, but because this is so knurled, you could definitely get this knocked off. And there's no way to lock this down. But what I really like about it is I can, while I've got the rifle on my shoulder, I can just look up and get this back to 0, and I feel the tactile, I can hear it. And with the clarity of this glass, I really like the scope. I think that I would like to see this to be able to be locked down, but really overall, I don't think that's a deal killer. I want to thank Freedom Munitions for sending the 5.56. Great shooting stuff. Makes fun gun reviews much more fun. We've got some of the Amend 2 magazines we've been testing out, and these are rock solid. We haven't had any issues whatsoever. Now at the range, the scope just performed very well. It was easy to get on target. Putting it on that 1.25, both eyes open, you can see that dot. I really like the green. It does come in a red, but the green to me is my favorite. It attracts the eye very closely. And then with the circle, the black circle around the dot, it allows you to just kind of keep your eye focused right where you need to. It's parallax free, so I'm able to look quickly, and no matter where my head is on the scope, that dot should be on target as long as I have my rifle sighted in. Now shooting up close and personal, that 1.25 is great, even out to 100 yards plus. But when you really get out to distance, you want to crank it up to the 4 power or less and get that right field of view and see what you're shooting. And this scope can get out to 400, 500, 600 yards with no problem. Really, once you get kind of out there, you want to up your magnification. But the 1x4 is so versatile, and that's one of the things I like about it. I can get in close, I can get out to distance. These are super durable, even with these special Optics Planet coatings, which are done by Leupold. With the stealth gray, or covert gray, really like with the wood stock. I thought that was a pretty cool touch. The dark earth, I was kind of back and forth, but they were out of stock on the dark earth. But the black matte is really nice. Now the scope's mounted on one of the Windham Weaponry MPC carbines, and then I have the Boyd's laminated hardwood stock. Something really just totally different that I really like. This, of course, I have full reviews on both. And of course I mentioned the American Defense Manufacturing QD mount. I do have one of the Geisley super charging handles on the back. It's ambidextrous. That has been really a nice charging handle. On the front here I have one of the Q-Comps by Wilson. Really helps to shoot flat, and this has been good too. And I want to thank Robbie from Wheaton Arms and also Skinny Medic for coming out and just having some fun range days with the scope and getting a lot of their feedback. And we had a great range day, but it's always great to see those guys, and I'll have their information down below in the description. The VX-R Patrol retails on the Leupold website for $779. On the Optics Planet website, they're $549.99. If you go with the custom color of the covert gray or the dark earth, they run $599. So just a little bit of an upcharge. Of course, they're putting that special finish on there. I'm going to have all the information down below, the links. You can go directly to Optics Planet and see this particular scope. You also get a 5% discount when you use Suit00, and all that information will be down below. And I want to thank Optics Planet for sending the scope. They're really great about sending these optics and letting me test and check out these different things and to find out what's best for you, because guys, at the end, it's what's best for you. It's not what's best for Optics Planet, it's not what's best for Leupold, it's not even what's best for me. If you're looking for a good home defense, self-defense optic, or you're looking for a gaming scope, you want to get out and do 3-gun, I think that the VX-R Patrol with the clearness in the glass is really the big point. Being able to get those targets and get the definition, I think that you're going to find that Leupold always delivers when it comes to that. So the VX-R has just been an excellent little optic. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America, long live the Republic. Now there are 8 different brightness settings. Okay, now this is to set your, you can hit a man-sized target easily, like in that kind of configuration. But I really like this. It gives it a whole different look. And guys, you know me, I'm like flipping. Yeah, what I like to do is shoot about 10 rounds, because people get bored after 10 rounds.
I was getting in a groove.
I know, you were doing good. But it's also, it resists glare. The scope is 9.5 inches long and it weighs